Hey, ladies, welcome to Unpacking Mama's Bag, the podcast where we unzip the chaos, shake out the crumbs, laugh at the crazy, and pray through the rest. I'm your host, Akia Adams, just another mother out here trying to raise babies, hold down a marriage, chase my purpose, and not lose my mind in the school pickup line. This space right here is just for the mothers out there who are carrying it all, from diapers to doubt, lipstick, laundry list, and the silent prayers you don't even have the words for. We're going to talk about marriage, motherhood, meltdowns, and we're going to do it with honesty, some humor, and a whole lot of grace. So if you ever cried in the shower, or hid in the pantry with snacks, or said, Lord, help me at least 3 times before noon, then girl, you're in the right place. So grab yourself some tea or a glass of wine, and let's unpack this bag. We're going to heal and grow all together. Welcome to another episode of Unpacking Mama's Bag. And tonight I have with me Sydney. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so well. I'm so happy to see you again, Sakia.
I'm so glad to see you again and so happy to have you again. Oh my goodness. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right into it. We just want you, if you could tell us who is in your mama bag.
Who's in my mama's bag? Okay.
Mhm.
I have 4 kids.
Mhm.
They're old now. They're teenagers and older. My oldest daughter is 21, Sophia, and then I have 3 teens at home, Gemma
Oh.
and Scotty and Elizabeth. So yeah, they're between 15 and 18 at the home, ones at home. And my husband Scott, and I do have a bunch of fur babies, 3 cats and 2 dogs and a
That's a
garden.
lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot in your mama bag.
Yeah.
Okay. So just tell us real quick, how is it managing the teenagers and the young adult, the fur babies and your husband right now? How is that going for you?
I would say it's going pretty well. I'm really lucky. My teenagers are
Mm-hmm.
wonderful kids. They've got interests and hobbies and things, and they're just good kids. So I've been really lucky. I would say it was hot. My oldest daughter, Sophia, moved away this year. She moved to Madison, Wisconsin. So I
Oh.
would say that was a big kind of like starting to experience the like kids moving away. Yeah, like a little bit
No.
of the empty nester feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been difficult, but otherwise it's pretty peaceful around here. So I feel lucky about that.
No.
Yeah.
So, outside of your daughter moving, has there been any other moment in motherhood that kind of made you laugh or cry or either both?
Um, yes. Okay. I took her to Madison. I took my 2 daughters to Madison,
Mhm.
this summer, and we did do a lot of laughing and some crying. But I want to tell you one story. The teenager kids and my husband and I went to Colorado, did a road trip to Colorado a few weeks ago, and I had a moment where I laughed so hard. I thought of you, and it was we were like humming or voice doing the noises, the sounds for like 2001: A Space Odyssey, and
Mhm.
my other daughter Elizabeth said, "Oh, Sydney's scatting in the front seat," and I thought scat she meant like pooping, like wild animal poop. And I was like, "What? I'm not scatting in the front seat." Like, and she meant like jazz improvising. So
Yes.
it was funny, and the whole trip we joked about scatting, and it was funny. So
Oh my God. I believe that was probably the highlight of the moment. Like, really? This is what you get from this?
yeah.
That is amazing. Okay, so what is something that you wish more mothers talked about
Hmm.
or more
Okay.
openly talked about?
I'm gonna say, because I'm coming from the point of being an older mother, I
Hmm.
don't really, I can barely remember having little kids anymore. So one of the things I'm going through right now is like the end of perimenopause and menopause. I wish I had known more about that, and now I'm starting to meet other mothers, because I know a lot of mothers with kids the same age.
Hmm.
And it's like I totally was blindsided by the hormonal changes
Hmm.
of that. Yeah. Of like the mood swings and the not sleeping and the I don't know, all this stuff, anxiety and depression and craziness. Yeah.
And I completely understand you. So the only difference with me is that that's how my 10-year-old came about.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, the
yeah. Oh
other
my
side,
gosh.
the other side. Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that was a little trip for me,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I completely understand that. So So you talked earlier about your daughter moving away and being on going through the empty nester and you're dealing with those feelings. So
Mhm.
how have you managed your feelings and how have you been able to, I guess, assist your other children with dealing with the fact that she's no longer in the house with them?
Okay. Well, I've had few moments where I've definitely cried.
Mhm.
Some of the way that I've managed it is by thinking about, I'm so proud of her and I'm happy that, I focus a lot on like being proud of her and,
Mhm.
kind of shift my focus from like, this is from being like, I'm losing something to like, this is exciting adventure she's on. And she's, putting herself through school in radiology. So I guess that's how I've been managing it is like I reshift
Mhm.
I reframe it to be like, this is like the job I was supposed to do, right? Like to help my
Mhm.
kids grow up and move away and like follow their path. And so that's mainly how I've been doing it. The kids, maybe because they're all teens, they're kind of like all in their own, social lives and they're all close to moving out also. So they're
Mhm.
really haven't talked much about it to me because they've kind of just busy with their own lives and tracks right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. But see, okay. So then on the same with the same question, what has the conversation been like with your husband? Because we can't leave dad out. Dad is a
Yeah.
key
Yeah.
part in the family. So and most men don't really talk about their feelings, and to get them to open up is a
Yeah.
feat in itself. So, but how has you and your husband's relationship evolved since you're now experiencing this first empty nester phase?
That's good. Okay. Um, I like the question. I'm trying to think. I think things have changed. There's definitely been a shift. My husband, fortunately, is pretty emotional, so he does share his feelings. And um, I think again, kind of on a refocus, like we've talked about missing Sophia and, the shifts, but also talked about kind of like what are our goals and dreams for the future. We've done a lot of,
Mhm.
I don't know, planning and, focusing on our, purpose, like what's, how do we want, what do we want to do with ourselves with the shift in time and energy,
Mhm.
how do we want to make a contribution and stuff like that. So that's more of what I've seen over the last few months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just shifting. Okay, more of a contribution. All right. So now, that is great. Uh, so have you ever handled like how do you handle the pressures um of just going through everyday life, trying to, because you are a reverend, so how do you handle the pressures of managing church and your family without being heavy on yourself to feel like you have to get everything right?
That's a good question because that's
Mhm.
difficult. I mean, I've struggled with that, honestly. I do a lot of like prayer and time for myself in the morning. Like I get up, well, my kids get up and go to school, but like I get up and I take, I would say if I can, at least an hour, but if I can take more, I do
Mhm.
take more. Like quiet time, I like to, if the weather's good, sit in my garden and just pray and meditate and like listen to the
Mhm.
silence and watch the birds and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, I like I do what I call a walk and talk is like I take a hike in out here and I like to
Mhm.
do that and pray too. That really centers me and kind of gives me the inner peace, if you will.
Mhm.
And so I would say that's my main way of managing the stress. I do have battle a lot of perfectionism. You know what I mean? Like I want to do everything
I
right.
understand.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
and lately, I mean, again, and this might be because of my age, but I've had to learn this year I've started to learn at least to take some things off my plate because usually
Mhm.
I'm like got, the responsibilities of, people and the work I do and then the kids and this and that
Mhm.
and attempting to get it to be a more manageable level of responsibilities.
Okay, so I want to dive a little bit more into that. So,
Okay.
has there ever been a moment where you felt like your faith had to really carry you? And if it's so, what happened during that time? Well, or what was happening during that time?
Okay. I would say yes. I've had, well, I feel like a lot of times recently have been a test of
Oh,
faith, but one that sticks out in my mind, and this was before I was ordained,
mm,
was during the pandemic.
mhm,
I used to be a school teacher, and
mm,
I I quit my job a couple weeks before. I had left to do a business, and then I went back to do preschool, and then I quit the job
mhm,
because there were some problems, um, and then the shutdown happened, and I wasn't able. I didn't have a job. I I couldn't get unemployment, and I wasn't. Somebody stole my social security number, so I couldn't get the
mm.
pandemic money,
Oh my
and
goodness.
somebody claimed the money from using my number. So I I did a lot of prayer at that time because I had no income and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive. And I had the kids
Mhm,
at home, and um I was actually a single mom at that time. And so I had two kids at home. My youngest daughter, needed to, do school on Zoom and all that stuff. And I prayed a lot that year. And I would say miraculously, and I can't even tell you how it happened. Like I would be like, okay, I would pray and count my blessings and be like, I've got food in the fridge and the electricity's on, the heat's on. Like,
amen.
I can pay I don't know. I don't know how I got through that. Like it was about a 9 month period of
Mhm,
miraculous being taken care of. And um, like a lot of the prayer of that time was about getting out of the fear of like,
mhm.
was I going to lose it all? And just getting into that place of faith, like deliberately choosing faith over fear every day to be like, okay, look at what's going on and you're in the present moment.
Mhm.
And so that was a powerful, in hindsight, that time taught me that God will take care of us, and
Amen.
that was an important lesson for me to learn, to get out of fear and to like like as a mantra, like let go and let God and be in faith.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That sounds like a true testament of really stepping out on faith and
Yeah.
believing in what you're preaching and believing in what you're saying and standing on it. So,
Yeah.
what advice would you give like a mom right now who may come to you who is barely holding it together, who is pretty much in the same shoes you were in a while back, but just now in this day and time? What advice would you give her to kind of help her get through these times?
That's hard. Okay, because I have a lot of empathy. Like I don't want
Mhm,
someone to think that I'm negating their experience. That's
mhm.
a hard experience. And
Right.
I do think having the faith, I guess I would suggest something similar, like, well, I think moving the energy, like the
Mhm,
movement seems to help the prayer, like
mhm,
going to get some exercise, shift your energy. The prayer, like asking for what you need, I would say ask in whatever, way that you pray, ask for what you need. And then I think, attempting to get yourself into a place of faith is important, and trust, but
mhm,
also like the counting my blessings was really helpful to me. Like I guess that's what part of the practice was like getting in the present, is
mhm,
like, what do I have like right now? Like what, I guess the mindfulness, or I don't know, how do you want to describe that? But like, it'd be like, okay, I'm okay today. We've got running water, we had all our
mhm,
needs met. And when I got into the moment, every time I like checked in and was like, not worried about the future, or not worried about,
mhm,
not looking past our future, and I was just in the present moment,
mhm,
I'm like, everything's okay right now. And what I found is if you can get yourself into that state of presence,
mhm,
of sometimes there's solutions that you're not seeing. Okay, when you're in anxiety and fear about something's going to happen, you don't see sometimes you're missing, there's solutions and opportunities happening that you're not
mhm.
seeing. So I'd say, not to, I would hope that I have other helpful suggestions for this mom, but like getting out of that fearful anxiety energy, is because that's can be, that's very stressful on your body to stay
Yes,
in that
yes,
state. Yeah.
very
So
much so.
getting back to a place of like inner calm is good for you, and will
Mhm,
clear your head to be like, oh, I could do this, or I could do this, or
mhm.
you know
So, how
yeah.
important would you say would it be to have a community support? Uh, Community support could be anywhere from being with your girlfriends, having a prayer group, a church family. How important would you say that would be in keeping your mental stable in times like the days we're in, facing
Mhm.
government shutdowns and stuff like that? Like, how
Yeah.
important would that be right now?
I think that's really important right now. I have a group
Mhm,
that meets on Mondays, and
mhm,
it's really valuable to um, come together and
Mhm.
share our experiences and, pray together if that's what we're going to do, or not. Just have like sort of just have friends. I think the community is really important because
Mhm.
also if you're down or having a hard time, it's good to go share your experience and
Mhm.
not carry that burden all by yourself.
Mhm.
So I think having and also, when you're in a group, hopefully it's, uplifting to you, you know what I mean? It shifts you to be part of a
Mhm.
group, to be part of a community, or even just to talk with a friend, like you said.
Right. And I totally agree with you. I think having myself now moving into a whole nother state, having my church community is a big blessing to me right now because, like, I'm completely away from all of my family outside of my children and my husband that are here with me, but the rest of my family is all the way back up north and I'm all the way down south. So having
Mhm.
that church family and that community to where I can, like you say, go to and share my thoughts or my feelings, not feeling judged, not feeling guilty about it, but then
Mhm.
also knowing that I'm in the room with someone who may have gone through the same thing and can give me some words of wisdom on how to get through it. I think that's such a big thing that we as a community need to get back to the root of being there
Mhm.
to support one another, being
Mhm.
there for each other,
Yeah.
not just to, oh my goodness, she's going through it. No, don't chastise me right now. Right now I need help. And
Yeah. Yeah.
if you can't encourage, then how your mom say, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And I
But yeah.
think that, yeah, I think,
Hmm.
I mean, I hope you have a community like that, because a lot of
Hmm.
places I know people are leaving, churches, or people are leaving churches, and they don't have necessarily a community where they can rely on them, or, I
Hmm.
know some great church communities where you can get support, or, help, and, emotional support, but maybe even financial support or help from the community.
Hmm.
But then a lot of people are, what's the word? Like feeling disillusioned by
Hmm.
spirituality,
Right.
and so, where do they go? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's hard too, but
Hmm.
it's great if you have a strong community of, or even
Hmm.
start a community, right? Like start a group
Okay.
too.
So, this circle. Let's just go back to what we're talking about. Being, you have your group, you have your stuff. So, what type of things do you do to practice mindfulness? Being, keeping yourself like what type of activities or places you may go, or do you do crafting? What do you do to keep
Okay.
yourself at peace and to keep, just to keep your mentals
Yeah.
leveled?
Okay. Exercise is one of them. I like to walk, and I've been exercising more. That helps me keep, like, I don't know,
Hmm.
kind of happy with the happy chemicals. Um, and you can kind of, if I hike, and I'm upset about something, usually within a little ways, like 10, 15 minutes, you start to, like, oh, like, let it move through you. That's
Hmm.
one of them. I do arts and crafts. I like to draw, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah, I've got a lot of art background, so I like to draw
Mhm.
and paint. And I've also been learning felting. I don't know, have you done felting before? I like you like have little needles, and you take wool, and you
No, I
take,
haven't done that.
it's fun. Felting's fun. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and yeah, so I do different crafts. That does help me. And then the quiet time, I think that's one of the things, like just sitting and having some silence, even if you can take 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just
Mhm.
be outside or sit in silence, is really important.
I find myself doing, especially as I'm getting older, like that quiet time it's so much peace, even if it's just like 5 minutes, just to sit
Mhm.
in a quiet room, nothing on, just me and the Lord. And then like
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
crafting too. I don't paint. I'm not that much of an artist, but I like to build things.
Oh,
So
cool. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a
Oh,
I'm
that's
a
fun.
crafter. Like I'll draw designs for shirts
Uh-huh.
and stuff, or but I definitely like to build things.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. What
So
what kind of things, like furniture,
I
or
I would do furniture. Back when I was working in the school, I did stage crafts. So stuff
Mm.
for the plays, I would build the props and stuff like that. Um,
Oh, cool.
Stuff around the house, bookshelves, tables, anything that I just love building stuff. But I also like decorating. So now it's fall, so I'm about to pull out my scarecrows and all my flowers and
Oh, fun.
find
Yeah,
somewhere in my
October's
house to
so fun.
decorate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's all
Make a
autumn.
door wreath or something like that. So those things like that is like my outlet. And
That's cool.
Actually, the organization I work with, we just have started a transition home. So I will be working with we deal with teen moms or
Oh,
pregnant
okay.
moms,
Okay.
18 to 24. So I'll be showing them how to make crafts. Like they can design shirts for their upcoming babies or decorate their rooms
Oh,
or,
neat.
decorate the house. Just little stuff because you need an outlet. And
Yeah.
sometimes going outside in the street is not where you need to be. Sometimes you need to
Yeah.
be in the house. Sometimes, and you just need something positive, something that you like. So my focus is going to be working with them to figure out what their gifts are and what it is
Oh,
that they
cool.
like to do, and then just helping them blossom.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, and let me, I mean,
Yes.
I don't know if you can do any Zoom classes, but I would love, no charge. I would love to come. I used to be, because I was an elementary teacher, but I was also an art
Mhm.
teacher. So I would love to come teach something if that worked for you guys. I would love that.
Definitely,
Fun.
what? I will
Yeah.
definitely keep you in mind for that. I
Yeah.
know
Okay.
you would be awesome with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just a few more questions. So, okay, I think I asked you this last time, but I'm gonna ask you again. If your kids, and I'm gonna include your husband too,
Okay.
had to write a Yelp review about you, what
Mm.
would it say?
Okay. Like you did.
Uh
Okay.
huh.
Um,
You got to be honest.
okay. Hmm. I think, okay. My kids have told me that they think they love me. I'm pretty mellow, easygoing. So they love
Okay.
me because I'm the easygoing parent. But
Mhm.
um I'm trying to think. I'm maybe being harder on myself, but like I always think like I could have been a little more, like would the reviews say she could have been a little harder on us, a little more disciplined.
Mhm.
I think I think my kids would report that I have given them a lot of love and support and nurturing. Um, and I like this question, but it's hard to think of it in terms of the Yelp review. Trying to think. I
But your
probably,
reviews be honest.
yeah, I know it's like being honest, exactly. So
Mhm.
I feel like where I um have in being easygoing and more of a I heard it, okay, more of a permissive parent. I'm just trying
Mhm.
to think of the word. That maybe they didn't get some of the structure that they could have done better. I don't know about
Mhm.
that. But then they're also all very self-motivated, perhaps because of that. Um, so
Mhm.
okay, I'm trying to get back to the what would they say? Um, yeah, I guess I would say it would be like she loves us, creative, a little a little messy. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, easygoing. Wondering what they would ask for more of. I don't know. When they tell me they love me, they don't tell me the hard stuff. You know what I mean?
And you never know. They may not ask for
Yeah.
anymore. You may have been just enough. Just enough.
Nice.
Because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
said you already said that you loved them, so they knew that you loved them. You were there, you supportive. And look
Yeah.
at you have a child now that's out in the world, going through school, navigating life. You have
Yeah.
teenagers that I think you would have a 5-star review.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yay. Okay.
I
It's
don't
good
know
to give
about you,
yourself
but I
a
got
five star
five
review.
stars. Did you get five
Yeah.
stars? I got five
Okay.
stars.
Okay, cool. Okay. Well, I'd like to have
Okay.
a 5-star review on the Mom Yelp.
Mom, yep, 5 star. Boop,
Yeah.
boop.
Yeah.
All right. And then one last question for our audience. If there were any words of wisdom or advice that you would want to give any new moms that are coming up, any expecting mom, and maybe any seasoned moms, what would be a word of advice that you would give them to help them get through these times?
I think what you talked about, what you asked me about community or friendship support, I'd
Mm-hmm.
say like definitely ask for help, or ask for support if you need support. Like ask your friends, ask, the community like you've created.
Mm-hmm.
Ask God. Like I think it's important to continue to ask for what we need and not to be afraid. I know a lot of people, a lot of moms
Mm-hmm.
that I've known, like were afraid to ask for help or ask for themselves. But I think we do need to ask in order to receive. So I think that's important and to get that support from other people and other moms and friends and to continue that.
Yes, that is a good word of advice. Never feel that you're out here alone. It's always someone
Mm,
that's willing to help. If you
yeah,
just step out there and say, "Hey, I need some help," there's
yeah,
always somebody that can help you.
totally. Yeah.
Totally. So if anyone wanted to reach out to you for any other interviews or have any questions, how would they be able to get in contact with you?
Yes, my website is www.soulgardener, SOUL Gardner,
Mhm.
GARDENER.me, and that's the best way. But my phone number and email are on there, so you could always call or
Okay.
email me too. Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for coming on and joining us for another episode. I appreciate conversating with you. It's always pleasant
Yes.
conversation.
Yes, yes, it's wonderful to talk to you.
It is. So, all right, fam, I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Unpacking Mama's Bag with Miss Sydney. Please ask for help if needed. Otherwise, enjoy being your mama, enjoy raising these families, and living your best life. Talk to
Yes.
y'all later.